Hi, my name is Jason and this is Rodney, and welcome back to myleadersource.com. Today we're going to be going over the dumbbell thruster. Now, the dumbbell thruster is a great full body exercise. We're going to be utilizing a front squat into an overhead press with these dumbbells. What you'll find is the dumbbell thruster will work the legs the same way that a squat does, and will work the upper body in relative proportion to the press. So you're going to find that it works the same muscles. You have the shoulders, the triceps, a little bit of the chest gets involved. We're going to have some core stabilization utilized when going down into this squat in the rack position. Also going to work glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. Without further ado, we're going to get into the key points. So we're going to have him pick up these dumbbells, and when we first start, we want to look at our foot position. So because we are going overhead with this movement, generally when we do overhead movements we have a narrow foot stance, but because we're adding this squat into it, hence the thruster, we're going to go out into our air squat position. Remember, those toes are going to be out, knees are going to be out. We're going to bring the bar up into rack position, the dumbbells, excuse me. So proper rack positioning with the dumbbells, again, we want those elbows together so that they're tight. Okay, we're supporting the load a little bit with the shoulder. As you can see, he's resting it just a little bit, so when he goes in that squat, it's a little bit easier to hold. We don't want to take it off those shoulders. Okay, what you'll find is he's going to assume a full squat position. So he's dropping down, making sure his hip gets parallel. He's going to drive out of the bottom, using that hip nice and slow. Once he gets extension, he's going to push the weight overhead and fully extend. Okay, so as he comes down, we want to focus on the depth. So he's going to go down. As he gets depth, he's coming up into full extension at the knee and hip. Once he does that, he can continue to press up into that full extension. Look at that nice straight body position, right? Same thing, Ronnie, nice and easy. Down, full squat, extension of the hip, and pressing with the shoulder. Remember, we want full extension at the elbow. You can relax. So as you can see, Rodney's got good form. We're making sure we get full extension every single time at the top. And we're going down full depth in that squat. How's that feel?
Feel pretty good.
Pretty good, right? Remember, take control of this squat. It can be a little tough. We're going to go over some common faults associated with the dumbbell thruster. Now, dumbbell thruster, common faults, one, first of all, would probably be a narrow stance position, right? So let's come real close to that position. Now I want you to go ahead and turn sideways for me real quick. So as you can tell, when we squat, we want to pretty much sit in there with our hips closer than usual than an air squat. What tends to happen is if you have this narrow stance position, it's going to drive your hips back a little too far, so go ahead and squat. So as he tries to bring his hips in, they keep trying to go back on him. Go ahead, deeper, 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 and you notice he's really trying to get himself upright, but because that femur is so long right now due to his foot position, it's hard to sit in there. So what he wants to do is come up. He wants to split into air squat position, and now when he goes down, watch how much easier this is to stay vertical. There you go. So now his hips are a little closer to his heels. He can keep that chest a lot more upright, which is a better supporting system in this upper spine. Okay, so we're making sure always go out to that air squat position. Okay. Secondly, when we come up into position, we want to get full extension overhead, and we're talking about full extension at the hip as well. So we don't want to shorten the extension. Always want to lock out the knees and hips. At the top, as he presses, he wants to make sure that, let's come on, bent. He wants to make sure that he is not bent at the top. As you can see already, very movable, right? Everything can move. He's shaking right now. If he presses up, everything becomes rigid, right? So now he's nice and solid. So we always want to make sure we maintain that full extension at the top. So make sure you're not caught in this bent position, all right? Also want to show you one more from the side view. I like to call it the layback, all right? So what's going to happen is I'm going to have him go down into the full squat. And what you'll see a lot of times is as you come up, the shoulders will get tired, so you'll sit back really far and you'll keep your head out of the window. So what happens is he'll drive up, and when he goes to get extension, he's going to push his head back and he's going to be looking up at those weights. As you can see, the weight's out in front now, and he's got this super arched back. So what he wants to do is put that head through the window, squeeze his glutes nice and tight, and press up on those weights, and that will straighten him up. Okay, you can relax, Ronnie. So those are the common faults in the actual dumbbell thruster. I want to thank you again, Rodney, for that. For sure. Remember, when performing the dumbbell thruster, always maintain the air squat position first. We want to utilize that proper rack positioning with the dumbbells that we talked about. We're looking for a full extension standing position before we press those dumbbells overhead. This is a very, very good move to build cardiovascular endurance as well when performed with a high repetition. Also, it will help muscular endurance. So it's a good tool to use if you're trying to get that high heart rate really quick, all right? Because we're going from the muscles of the lower body